People love to say that autistic people think in a very black and white sort of way. They're very rigid, they're very fixed, they're unwilling to budge. And I actually get why it looks like that. But what you're seeing is the end point of a process that you was never a part of. So let me explain. Hi, I'm Jade. I'm a private psychotherapist. I'm also diagnosed autistic and I run Planet Pure, a place where I help autistic people begin to understand themselves rather than continue to spend a life blaming themselves. The general population decide quickly. They go feeling, loyalty, social dynamics, what feels right in the moment. And we often don't. We build our understanding brick by brick. We track patterns, we notice inconsistencies, we hold multiple angles of understanding or potential understanding at once, and we analyse it into a system that is looking for certainty that holds true no matter what. Because our systems have to hold true all of the time. Whereas most people tend to think moment to moment, which looks like flexibility in comparison to how we operate. And what it often means is that you can adapt quickly, even if the full picture isn't aligned, because you're not thinking in a systematic, bigger picture point of view. You're thinking in the moment, what is true for you in that moment. Whereas we sit with uncertainty longer than most people actually can tolerate, but it's very much internal. So some of the things that we get told is that you're too black and white about people, because from the outside, they think you just cut people off, you're being really harsh, but from the inside, we didn't decide in just one moment and decide we're over that person. We watched patterns, we gave chances, we tracked what didn't match, and when it became consistent enough, we stopped overriding ourselves with what we could already see. Another example of this is when we're told that we take things too literally, because from the outside, they think, well, obviously I didn't mean it like that, you've missed the point entirely. But from our side, from the inside, words are data. So if you say one thing but mean another, it's not nuance necessarily to us, it's inconsistency. You think that we're rigid, and we think that words matter. We're holding language to the standard that it was given, and anything else is confusing to us. Or another one that I see a lot is, you just can't go with the flow. Because, again, from an outside perspective, it's just not a big deal. Just adapt yourself. You're making it such a bigger deal than it needs to be. But from the inside, we've already mapped a plan. We've prepared our energy, we've allotted our focus, we've spent a lot of energy doing so, and then something changes like that without explanation. It's not necessarily just the change. It's the moving of our focus from one thing that we planned to something else, realising how much we've spent our energy in doing that, and now it's pointless, and the new plan has less clear structure, so we have to build again. Another example is when we're told we're stubborn. How many times have we heard that one? And again, from their perspective, they think, why can't you just change your mind? Although questionable, because a lot of people can't. But from our side, we already know that we have changed our mind multiple times internally before we even came to a conclusion, before we even entered the conversation. So if we're still standing on that point, it's because we've ruled everything else out. It might look like rigidity, or from an outside perspective that it's certainty without flexibility, or that we're shutting things down, but it's actually quite the opposite. It's depth, it's thoroughness, it's earned certainty. You can adapt quickly, which is amazing. We want to make sure that this actually holds up in a systematic way. And if it doesn't, then something is missing and we will just loop and loop and loop it. So when those two worlds meet, it's the double empathy problem all over again. And when the majority of the population think in a certain style, difference doesn't look like difference anymore. It looks like one of us is right and one of us is wrong.